Our art hack is called Club Condenser. The plan was to condense the essence of a club night using data collected on the club night into a music video with audio and visual that is generated and affected by the data that we collect. So we we wanted to collect this data over the course of the weekend. We kind of had to, and that was something we were quite interested in doing anyway. So we developed different ways of collecting data. One of which, demonstrated here, is just a survey created on an iPad app, asking a few questions, which we were intending to ask people at the club. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. The other thing was the T-shirt, which I printed yesterday, which has handprints on the back in the perfect position for a hug. Attached to the... so the T-shirt's printed using a conductive ink, which I've been given recently. I haven't had a chance to work with it yet, so this was a bit of an experiment. It does work, so that's good. Yeah, basically, so there's a couple of cables coming out of the back of the T-shirt attached to the multimeter, and essentially, when you give me a hug, it measures the resistance through your skin. What that is essentially measuring is how sweaty you are in the club. We're relaying that to sort of how much fun you're having, how much you're dancing, how much passion you've got for the night. The data we were collecting was then translated into audio and visual in the sense of happiness, enhanced the glow of the visuals, and created an erosion effect on the audio. People's energy levels, created a zoom effect, and added a low-pass filter on the audio. The temperature changed the colour temperature of the visuals and affected the saturation on the audio. The humidity affected the saturation on the visual and the reverb on the audio. And the drinks consumption, basically we had a sort of scale of what people were drinking and how it would affect how jittery the visuals were. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. So we're going to show you the video now. And yeah. So there's this kind of vague idea of, well, it's not that vague, it's quite possible that this could be kind of translated, you know, we could have an app or a website that you log into and people could send their, you know, kind of have the survey, hand it around at a party or a wedding or any sort of event really. And yeah, you could do the survey, submit all your pictures, and it would create a music video using the data from your event. So yeah, I'll leave it to these guys to talk about what they did.
All the music was done through Ableton, and I hooked up a Python MIDI device, which was using the data we collected, feeding that in, and like tweaking a bunch of parameters on different filters, erosion, and the such. Like Ben did the images.
Yeah, so I was in charge of the imagery, and I just coded up some Java, reading in raw image files and outputting raw image files which were then compiled into After Effects, and then everything after that was done in After Effects. So yeah, it was using the Java 2D API, and nothing too advanced in particular. I just wanted to explain the bits with the random people talking about stuff. The idea of that was if you're going out for a cigarette break or a break in the middle of clubbing, then you kind of brought that to the experience a little bit as well, and that was also compressed down to little bits of data. You might have a more extensive conversation than we would normally, but we compressed it down to the bare essentials.
Yeah, essential snippets of the random conversations you may have.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks a lot.